Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's continuing education. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and it's a lovely day outside. Here in the Pacific Northwest, it is amazing how 5 minutes can change what the weather is. Okay, this morning I looked outside and went, oh, it froze last night. Looked out 10 minutes later and it was snowing. So, gotta love the Pacific Northwest. So this is my continuing education for you to learn more about essential oils and what they can do for our wellness and our well-being. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about emotional support using essential oils. What does that look like? It's aromatherapy. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that before. And it's a really interesting topic, to say the least, because aromatherapy has been around for ages, right? So before we go into that, there's a few things that I want to teach you first. What are essential oils and how would you use them? And who am I? So again, I'm Diana Hegel. I have been using essential oils for about a little over 7 years now. And when I first was introduced to essential oils, I had no idea what they could do. I left the dental world after 30 years to pursue doTERRA essential oils and teaching about them to other people because I realized that there was something else that I could do to help people. I like and love actually helping others learn about things and teaching what they can do in their own home for your own wellness and be empowered at home. It really gives you a lot of sense of pride, and having what you need at the time is so important because essential oils have been around for centuries, right, and for decades. And why are they now in the spotlight? The reason they're in the spotlight is because they work. Okay, people are usually tired of medications not working, or the side effects of medications, so they're looking for alternatives. And essential oils are just one alternative for your health and wellness. Lots of modalities out there. Find the ones that work for you. So today we're talking about essential oils. Essential oils are just aromatic compounds found in plant matter, and it's extracted. And every single oil has their own signature, their own compounds within. And so because it's plant matter, it's natural, body knows what to do with it, which is fascinating, right? Because how does it know? It reacts chemically to our bodies, but in a good way, not in a bad way. So it's fun to really learn about what these essential oils are and how they help us, how they interact with the body. So we use them 3 different ways. In it's aromatic. That's our fastest response, right? Goes into the olfactory. You smell something good and you love it. You smell something bad and you want to go the opposite direction. So it's our fastest response for anything. Topical application is the second. And topical application is just putting it anywhere where there's a problem, or you simply put it on the back of your neck or the bottom of your feet. Those are the best places to put it. And when you inhale or when you use topically, essential oils can give you a response within 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds. That's amazing. And even when I was told that, I was like, there's no way. 30 seconds, really? But the response I was getting from not only myself and using products and essential oils, but it was like everybody else was the same way. They were reacting very quickly to what was in that. And it's like, why? Because my hip stopped hurting or my headache went away. And it's just amazing how quickly they can work for us. So instead of waiting 20 minutes for something to work or hopefully work for you, don't you want a quicker response? I do. Third way of using essential oils is internal. Now, not every essential oil is meant to be used internally, so please read the bottles very carefully. It does tell you whether or not it is, you can apply it to your skin or whether or not you cannot take internally. So you have to know that there is a difference in essential oils. Always make sure of what you're getting is a quality essential oil. A lot of what you get off the shelf in a lot of places are not what you think they are. And because the FDA doesn't regulate essential oils, you only need about 10% of the essential oil that they say on the label has to be in that bottle, and call it 100% pure. Okay, so that's a really that's a gray area, right? That's dental terms. That's a gray area. Gray meaning that they can call it 100% because whatever they put in that bottle, whether it's synthetically reproduced or not, they can still call it 100%. Okay, so keep that in mind and do your research. Okay, know that if it doesn't say that you can apply to your skin or use it internally, what else is in that bottle? Okay, there are some essential oils that obviously are not meant for internal consumption. And in order for it to be ingestible, okay, so if it says it's ingestible on the label, then you will want to, it has to meet the GRAS standard, which means that it's generally regarded as safe, okay, safe for consumption. So if you were to eat the herb, then you can have the oil, right, the essential oil. So that's the three ways you use it: aromatic, topical, and internal. doTERRA has what they call a certified pure therapeutic grade. I really love that in identification, as you may call it, because it means to me that it is important to them that they meet a standard of quality. That is what we want. If we want to use it as medicine, okay, then we have to treat it typically like medicine, right? And meaning that it doesn't replace some things. And yes, we still need our doctors. We're not anti-doctor. And we just, if you can find an alternative that's natural for whatever is aching or ailing you, then I think that's more power to us, okay? So knowing that we have something that is quality-based, then that's important as we use it. So we're going to talk about emotions. So how many of us get angry? Do you ever get angry? Maybe you got kids, grandkids, your husbands, your spouses, just people in general, right? We typically do get angry with people. How do we keep that in check? What about anxiety? Do you ever get that butterflies in the stomach when something's going on, or you get the headaches? You know, what are the symptoms that you display when you start feeling those anxious feelings or that nervousness, right? What can you do about that? Well, most of us think that we should go to the doctor and get a prescription. That's great. If that's what you want to do, then you go do that, okay? But on the other hand, if you could smell something, just that quick, if you could smell something to change the chemical reaction in your brain, would that make you feel better? Well, of course it would. It would totally make you feel better. And because we can't, because we can change those chemical reactions. And I think that's a really amazing thing, that when we are in those different moods, we can literally smell an essential oil and it changes, or it either increases or decreases certain chemicals of the brain to react so that we can react differently. So I use a bioscan, which is really amazing. And I love being able to use that because most people have no idea where to start, right? This gives me a true good idea to where I can start with people because if they've been diagnosed with PTSD, if they've been diagnosed with anxiousness, if they've been, whatever they've been diagnosed with, I can go on the other end of the scale and help them with something that will create a different response, right? In conjunction with what they're doing. Excuse me. So all of us have a way to help whatever we have been diagnosed with. There is something that generally can help us in creating a different response or along with it. So today we're going to talk about the doTERRA Touch or the doTERRA Emotional Kit, which is this. Okay, these are actually the touch oils. And what I mean by touch oils is that they're each in a 10 ml roller bottle. So it's a 10 ml and it has a roller on it. So it's a very, very easy application instead of having to get it out of a bottle and adding your own coconut oil. So these, the touch, anything with the word touch from doTERRA is already pre-mixed with fractionated coconut oil. So I love the idea of being able to have something that is a quick application, right? And I don't have to fuss. Now, why do I want to talk about the emotional oils that doTERRA has? The reason being is they have been totally, the chemicals within each and every oil, okay, essential oil. So aromatherapy, since we're talking about the emotional response of essential oils, okay, since they've been around for thousands of years, ancient Greece, Romans, Chinese, Indians, they've all used essential oils for either residual or religious practices, right? So it influences human feelings. So if it's influencing our feelings, even with the rich history of aromatherapy, there wasn't officially, they weren't official until like the 20th century, okay, or aromatherapy in itself. So now that we recognize the emotional benefits of aromatherapy, then research. There was sustainable research starting in like the 1990s. And they started to learn and to understand how the chemical sensors in the body responded to the effects of fragrance or the scent, right? So the concept, you know, that where ancient civilization discovered long ago, now all of a sudden we know because we have the science to back it, which is we need more science information to back up what essential oils actually do for us. And that's coming forward a lot because because essential oils are so much in the spotlight anymore, there's more and more research and more doctors coming on board as an alternative. But you also have to have a very true essential oil, meaning that it has to be 100%. Can't have any additives to it. That doesn't work. Additives like fractionated coconut oil are not an additive to decrease the emotional response of your essential oil. It actually is a carrier for the essential oil. That's the important part. Because sometimes we can have some sensitivity. And so you want to make sure that you don't have sensitivity to essential oils. And if you do, make sure that you use a good carrier oil. Fractionated coconut oil is a really good one because the molecules are small. And so it evaporates into the skin really quickly. It soaks in. And it doesn't have any odor to it. So that's important going forward using essential oils. We want the fragrance of the essential oil, not our carrier oil. and we want to make sure it's not greasy and that it will soak into the skin very quickly. So essential oils and chemical responses. Okay. So because of the complexity of the brain, okay, there are certain aromas that elect emotions by triggering our memories. So when have you ever gone somewhere and you smell something, you go, oh, that reminds me of grandma. Or that reminds me of when I went to the ocean. That reminds me of a bad experience, right? It stimulates an emotional response when we smell something, whether good or bad. Mostly good, but there's also bad responses as well. So those memories bring back those experiences, but we also have the ability to experience a distinct response when we inhale aromas, right? So what does that make us feel like when we smell it? Does it make you feel all warm and fuzzy, or does it make you feel like you just lost your best friend? And so how do you get out of that? You triggered either a bad response or you've triggered a good response. Okay? So when we inhale, the brain's olfactory system, which is the nervous system, the sensory system responsible is for controlling our sense of smell. The olfactory system is connected to the limbic system. Okay? There's an area of the brain where memories and emotions are stored. So at that point, the limbic system, which is your overall wellness, right, your entire system, produces a distinct response to the aroma based on memories that are associated with that particular smell. So it creates a rush of feelings that follow. And there's where you get that sense of fuzziness or well-being, or that sense of, I can't handle that, right? It brings back a memory that you don't want to remember. So essential oils produce responses that that can be used to enhance well-being and manage those emotions, right? So when you get into those dark clouds and those dark emotions, how do you bring yourself out of that? So that's where essential oils come in. We can change the chemicals of the brain and produce a better response so that we come back out of that dark cloud. People that have like PTSD or the anxiousness or the angry feelings, it's how do you get into that fragrance or the chemicals that will bring you back into a good response instead of that bad response, right? That's why I love my BioScan. And I use an iTovi, and if anyone, look that up, it's ITOVI. It's that BioScan, if people don't know where to start, that gives me a variety of essential oils that the body actually responds to. And when I make a little blend specifically for them, it creates a whole new world for them. And it's exciting because that's incredible, because they're like, I had no idea that it makes me feel so good. It's like, yeah, every time you start feeling like you're getting into that world, that black cloud hanging over you, then take that blend out of your pocket and smell it. But when you smell something, how often should you smell it? Smell it as often as you want, okay? As often as you need, because you're going to change. You're going to change how that brain responds to that black cloud, and it's amazing. So when you take your essential oil out and you take the lid off, first one and foremost, you've got to take the lid off, right? And you smell it. And you want to smell it several times. Get that fragrance, get those chemicals responding, get that 30 seconds worth of reaction to eliminate what you're feeling, even if it's grief. How do you eliminate grief? Oh my gosh, you know, I just went through all of this. And in fact, I picked up Console. I've used this a lot in the past month, or actually a couple months, because I've lost a lot of loved ones in the last few months. And Console has been one of my best friends, right? Because I need that consoling. And so I love how doTERRA has created the differences of each oil in its chemical response to address each one. Like you have peace, you have cheer, you have console, you have forgive. All of those are for their namesakes, okay? And we're going to get into more of that. So the scientific makeup of the emotional aromatherapy, so that's kind of where I'm going. Because there are different essential oils that cause different emotional chemical responses, the design of the doTERRA emotional aromatherapy system is based on chemistry, okay? So each essential oil blend in the system is made up of basic chemicals that are characterized into different classifications. In aromatherapy, different classifications are used to create desired emotional responses, okay? So there again, if I need consoling, I'm going to use console. If I need to forgive someone, I'm going to use that. But how do you know which oil to use? How do you know which blend is best for you, right? We're going to get into that. So stay with me. So because, again, because they're so complex and the chemicals each have their own distinct chemical makeup, okay, that's what we're looking at. So we want to achieve a unique profile that's unique to each of us, okay? Each of us are going to have a different response because we're all different. We all respond differently. That's why essential oils are so incredible, because what works really well for me may not work as well for you, but we're going to use another one that will work extremely good for you. So they say that with any situation, if you're patient, you'll find the right one. And that's another thing to think about. So we've talked about the each chemical constituent. It makes up different things, right, to achieve that unique chemical profile. So this system relies on specific plant categories to allocate emotional responses based on the chemical components that are included in each essential oil, okay? So fun to know that. So they're calming, they're uplifting. So how do you know? So calming oils, essential oils that are in the floral category, typically composed of monoterpene alcohols, which hold a lot of calming properties. Your tree, herb, grass oils are known to promote grounding and soothing emotions and feelings of renewal. So think of a tree, okay? and think about the roots. Then you have the trunk of the tree. Then you have all the foliage on the tree, and then you have either blossoms or you have fruit. Okay, we want to be grounded. Think about root oils, right? And those bark oils, those are very grounding, very soothing. Okay, so anything on the ground is very grounding. So that's a really good way of thinking about it, right? And if you want something uplifting, then you're going to look at the top of the tree. Either you want high concentrates of ketones to uplift your mood. So mints are usually good about that. They're energizing, as a lot of people will tell you, or refer to them. Citrus oils typically possess significant uplifting characteristics. And so you have limonene, beta-pinene, monoterpenes. I know I'm getting into science, right? And some of us are not all about the science. And so it makes, if you really want to learn about what all of those different constituents, those compounds do for us, then look into that, because the science part of it is really amazing. And you're going to be so excited when you figure out what all those mean. And there are different wheels of emotions that you can look at. One of those, and I'm going to screen share here real quick and show you what doTERRA has as a aromas. So you know which oil to use. Okay, so this is the aromatherapy wheel. Okay, so all of our essential oils, and I'm sorry that it's not bigger. So we have motivate, we have cheer, we have passion. Move my screen a little bit. And then we have forgive, and we have console, and then we have peace. And you can see from here we have mints, citrus, spices, herbs and grasses, trees, and florals. And I don't know if you can see this, but if you Google aromatherapy or emotions wheel for doTERRA, you'll find this. And so how do you understand, or how do you figure out which one that you want to use? Well, inside this wheel is a variety of how I'm feeling. Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling discouraged? Am I feeling bored? Am I feeling anxious feelings? Am I feeling worried? So you can see where these go back and forth. You might use more than one essential oil, right? You can layer them. It's layering an essential oil, meaning that you put one on, wait about 30 seconds to put the next one on, because it soaks into your skin within 30 seconds, right? Have that 30-second response. And so if you're feeling anxious and discontented, or just you can use either cheer or passion, and you can use peace. Okay, or maybe you just want cheer and peace, or maybe you just want peace and passion. So thinking about where you're at on the scale, how you feel is how you choose the essential oils that you want to use. So again, even right here, as essential oil chemistry is naturally complex and each person is unique in their response to specific aromas, you may also personalize your aromatherapy applications by using single doTERRA essential oils from the aromatic plant families corresponding to the emotions found on the system wheel. Naturally, safe, and simple. So if you're not sure, or you don't have these, okay, the blends, then what do you have that is, if you're worried, what floral fragrances do you have? What if floral essential oils do you have? If I'm feeling, what else? If I'm feeling angry, okay? If I don't have forgive, because usually we need to forgive people if we're angry, then what herbs or grasses, these grass essential oils do I have? Do I have lemongrass? Do I have melissa? Right? Think about those grasses or the other herbs like rosemary, basil, right? It's amazing what those essential oils can do for us. And on doTERRA, A stands for that can be used aromatically, T can be used topically, N can be used topically with no dilution, meaning that we should not have a sensitivity to it, okay? Not saying that you won't, saying that usually that 99.9%, they're not going to be any substitute. You won't be, okay? S means dilute for younger or sensitive skin. Okay, so that means that it could be a sensitive oil, like like oregano, for instance. It's just can be highly sensitive, or cinnamon, right? Clove is another one. And so think about those. And never use your eyes, never use oils in your eyes, in your ears, or your nose, okay? And of course, again, we dilute mostly with fractionated coconut oil, but you can use olive oil and you can use other carrier oils. But just keep in mind that the molecules on a lot of those heavier oils, like olive oil, are more greasy because the molecules are bigger and it doesn't soak into the skin well. So that's a really quick rundown. So I'm going to stop my screen share. Okay. So I hope this gives you some ideas on what essential oils can do in changing the response that we get through the course of the day, or how does it make you feel? Like first thing in the morning, how do you lift yourself up? I use a product called Balance. I love that because it helps because if you're like me, when you go to bed at night, you're thinking about all the things that you could have done, should have done, or want to do for tomorrow, right? So you can't shut the brain off. How do you shut that brain off? But once you get the brain shut off, that's where essential oils come in, because they're so good about helping calm us and helping us get to sleep. And then in the mornings, what's that done to my chemical makeup or my stress factor? So Balance is something to help reduce those stress factors and anything that might come up during the day. Because stress is a #1 killer in most people, and it really truly is. So think about the stress in your life, whether it be financially, your family, whatever it is. Think about what you can do to reduce and remove some of those stress factors in your brains. So remember again that every response is individual, and everyone has their own experiences, and everyone has their own chemical makeup. And so reactions are going to be based on an individual to get distinctive benefits. I really love these essential oils, and I hope that you got something out of this today. This is my continuing education. I love what I do. I love being able to teach people more about what they can do to help their well-being and come into a different wellness lifestyle. Essential oils are part of the package. We all have to have a foundation of good health. What does that look like, right? Are you exercising right? Are you sleeping right? Are you eating the right foods? Are you very intuitive to what you're doing? Okay, not that you can't go out there. In today's world, we're exposed to toxins all the time. How do you eliminate them? Essential oils can be part of that. So remember, we have to have a good foundation of health, and we build on top of that. Whether you go to chiropractic, whether it's massage, whether it's yoga, whatever you choose, or maybe you choose more than one, okay? And essential oils are part of that package of wellness. So if you like what you heard today, please share this video with somebody that you know. If you're watching this replay and someone did share it with you, if you would like to get on a list for a reminder for this call, you can get the link to the live call and the replay. And all you do is you text the word Heavens Oil, and that's Heavens, HEAVENS OIL, Heavens Oil, to 81010. So again, if you want to listen to this and get the links to the live and the replay, it's Heavens Oil, text to 81010. So we'd love to have you on, and if you would like to share anything, maybe you'd like to share an experience, we'd love to have you here and to share that with us. If you feel like essential oils are something that you wanted to be part of your wellness package, then get with the person that shared this video with you, and they can help you decide on how to get these essential oils into your home and get it for the best price. Okay, so you guys have a wonderful week. We will see you again next week. So this happens every Monday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm looking forward to talking with all of you again. We'll see you soon.